Hi there, this is Art Johnson. Here I am, Sunday morning, sitting out on the patio, having myself a cup of coffee. Normally, this time of morning, I'd be at Starbucks having coffee with my friends. And it's been quite some time since I've been able to do that. So I decided that I would have coffee with my friends this morning, and hope you're out there watching me. And if you're not one of my coffee friends, you're welcome to join me this morning. Here's my coffee. For the past month or so, I've barely been out of the house. I did last week break down and take my car out for a ride up and down the streets for a few minutes. My car's been sitting in the garage for that month or so period of time, and gee, I don't want the battery to go dead on it. The last thing I did before this whole thing started was fill my tank with gas. So I had a full tank of gas, and I only used about that much of it driving around the block a few times. So what are you guys doing? I have spent some time working on my camera equipment and doing some research and, getting everything set up so I'm able to do this with my Lumix G9 camera and a Rode mic on top of it. You can probably hear the plane in the back. I do have a lav type, actually a wireless remote that I could be using, but I like to use this. If this doesn't work, then next time I'll use that other microphone. I'm using a 50 millimeter lens here on my Lumix camera, and it does have a little bit of an extender on it, so I've got a little wider view than you'd normally get with a 50. It's probably about a 35 to 40. I think it's about 40. That's my situation. I'll go into my camera in depth at some future date maybe. I don't want to bore you today. I'll bore you in the future. I know we're all staying at home, working at home. I'm retired, so I stay at home anyway. I do have some jobs that I do on the side, but I do them at home anyway. Today is Sunday, April 19th. It's the weather right now. It's just past 9. It's 68 degrees, so pretty nice. However, it's going to get up into the end of this week. It's going to be in the high 90s. Summer is coming. Not looking forward to that, but what the heck. This morning when I went out, took my dog for a walk. I take him out every morning, and then we take him out for a little longer walk in the afternoon. There have been a lot of flowers in bloom in the neighborhood, so I've been sharing those to Facebook and Instagram. This morning I was just up the street, and one of my neighbors has a rose bush, and it's all in bloom, beautiful red roses. So I'll post that picture up there so you can see my photo of the day. I'd like to say hi to my sister who's up in Denver working as a nurse, fighting the fight and risking it all to help patients get better. So God bless her. I don't know, speaking of the quarantine, I'd like to share a little story with you about happened many, many years ago. I was seeing this doctor, my annual physicals. At one point, he prescribed Lipitor for me. I don't know if you know of Lipitor. It's a very, very popular drug to hold your cholesterol down. And I had been watching my cholesterol, and it had come down considerably, and so it was into the normal range. And I quit taking the cholesterol. So when I visited him on my regular visits, he went over the prescriptions that I had, and he said, "So Lipitor, are you still taking that?" And I said, "No, I don't take it anymore." And he looked at me kind of quizzically, and he said, why are you not taking your Lipitor?" And I said, "Because my cholesterol's normal." And it kind of stopped him in his tracks, and he looked forward to me, and he said, pointed at me, and he said, "Look at me." He said, "Why would you quit taking something because it worked?" So guess what? 20-some years later, I'm still taking Lipitor. But my point was that this quarantine is working. I'd like to get out of this quarantine, believe me, as quick as possible. But the medical people are saying, you know, we need to we need to get this thing behind us a little bit more before we take the quarantine off. So that story kind of relates to that. The quarantine's working. We need to let it work until the medical experts are saying, okay, we're on the downside of this curve and the risk of it reoccurring is low or lower, and then we can go back to normal. I don't want to see us drop the quarantine and then have this thing spike again. Because I don't want to go back to quarantine. I want this to be relatively safe to go back to work. Those are my thoughts. I know there's a lot of legitimate viewpoints on both sides, but that's just how I feel with it right now. I don't know if I'm going to do this every day, but maybe every week. I'll have coffee with my friends, and you're welcome to join. Thank you.